This is Cycle 2 Latin. I'm going to show you how I teach weeks 1 through 24 all together. You guys know that I'm really big on pictures and try to catch all learners at once, but all of those visual learners and the auditory learners and also the kinesthetic learners. But I'm going to show you how I use these by creating visual cue cards. Of course, those catch your visual learners. And then you get to say it, which catches your auditory learners. And then I have something here that we build, which catches the kinesthetic learners. So for our first one, this is weeks 1 and 2, 13 and 14, present tense. So this is a picture of a present. And when we get a present, we usually say, oh, for me, oh, present tense. See, this is how we are going to jog our memory. This starts with oh. Let me come to my Latin house here. Now, this is something that I built that we can use for review. You can use this in your homes, or I even use this with my kids in my class during review time. I think what I did when I tutored Cycle 2 a couple of years ago is I built enough for the kids to share. So I have 8 kids this year, so I will build 4 sets of these, plus these 2 sets that I have at home. So for the first conjugation, present tense, I think present tense. My brain is going to think, oh, present. So that visual learner is going to kick in, and then that kinesthetic learner, watch, they're going to sing the song, O-S-T, must is unt. They're going to put the puzzle together because all of these are going to be jumbled together. Now, I think what I'm going to do for weeks 1 and 2, I'm rather than have all of these jumbled together in the bag, I'm just going to start with this Latin house in a bag for the kids to build together for review. Let's move on to week 3 and 4. And it'll be repeated during weeks 15 and 16. This is the imperfect tense. And our visual cue here is a bomb, because a bomb is an imperfect solution to anything. And bomb is what our sound starts with. So look, here's our sound. Bam, ba, spot, bam, spatis, bunt. And all of these songs, by the way, are found on the app or Apple Music, or I'm sure whatever method, or the CDs, I think from the bookstore, whatever method that you choose to use. These are CC official songs. So here's the same thing I built. First conjugation, imperfect tense. A bomb is an imperfect solution. And then I'm going to sing the song and then put it together for my kinesthetic learners. So when we get to weeks 3 and 4, I will take these 2 Latin house out of my bag and let the kids build these. When we get to weeks 5 and 6, we get to future tense. And future tense, that we are focusing on a bow, as in a bow and arrow, but we're going to focus on a bow, because a bow can shoot arrows into the future ahead of you. So you think about a bow doesn't shoot arrows behind you, because you can't shoot a bow behind you unless you're Legolas from Lord of the Rings, or maybe Merida from Disney's Brave, but they're really, really good bow handlers. But here we are, a bow, for the most part, shoots an arrow in front of you in the future. So this is future tense. And here's our Latin house for bow bispit, bimis bitis bunt. Our cue, this is my personal favorite, for perfect present tense is we want to find the sound E. And guess whose name happens to end with that sound? Mary Poppins, who just so happens to be perfectly present in every way. Well, she's practically perfect in every way, for those of you who really pay attention. But for the purposes of our exercises, she's perfectly present in every way. Mary Poppins. And those of you who know me know that I absolutely love Mary Poppins. And there is no coincidence that in the perfect tense conjugation that isti happens to be the second conjugation. And my name just so happens to be Christy. rhymes with ISTE, spelled the same way. Coincidence? I think not. Next, we have the pluperfect tense, and pluperfect sounds sort of like a blue perfect sky. So how we can remember this, we're going to get that picture in our head of a pluperfect sky with air quite clear. And so this is arum, pluperfect sky. And this is also a really good example of the perspective drawing, which we do when we study the oils in our fine arts portion of our CC day. So pluperfect tense with air quite clear. So we have arum, eras, erat, aramis, eratis, erant. And remember, all of these songs can be found however you get your CC songs, which is why I'm not really spending time singing them, because you can get them from another place. And our last one is future perfect tense, and we're going to focus on the arrow sound, because the future will be perfect and there will be no need for a bow and arrow. Or you can even think maybe an arrow shoots into the future. Careful not to get this one confused with the future tense, which is bow. This is future perfect. So future perfect, it's perfect in the future where my arrow is going. Maybe that's how you can remember the difference between the bow for future tense. You need a bow for the future, but in this future perfect, my arrow is going straight. I hope that this helps with your Latin year, and these Latin houses are a lot of fun to make. They're super easy. It's just popsicle sticks, and I just use a skinny Sharpie. So super easy. You can paint them. You can use colored popsicle sticks. You can do color coordinated, however you choose to do this. Be creative. And by the way, this was not my idea. I got this from someone else. So we are a community where we pass along ideas. Some we borrow from other people all the time. And this was a borrowed idea, and it was a genius idea. So thank you for whoever shared this when I needed it 3 years ago. Happy learning.